Elijah. She lost her husband, and Elijah came to the woman and basically asked her, what do you have inside your home? And she said, I just have a little bit of oil. And then he tells her to go tell your sons to go get some vessels and basically bring them back to the house. So the sons went to go get the vessels. They brought them back to the house. When the woman started pouring the oil, that little bit of oil filled up every single vessel that the sons brought back. And to the point where the woman said, do we have any more vessels? So basically, I say that to say this. Every single need that these families are going to need is going to be fulfilled. God has already guaranteed it. God has already showed us through His Word that it will happen. So as a community, we will rise up, we will come together. And I'm just so glad that my life can be a part of the change that's happening here in Harrisburg. Thank you.
Yes, praise the Lord, everybody. I'm Jenny Jenkins, and I am a candidate for mayor of Harrisburg. But like all the other candidates have said, we're not here for that today. It's not about us. It's about families that are struggling. It's about the loss that we just experienced. And we are here today to show our support. We want them to know that we're with them and that this community does stand together, no matter what anyone says. When the time comes, we come together. So that's what we're doing today, and we want to thank Jonathan for doing that. The other thing I wanted to say was, Jonathan was very bold about what he was doing. He got on Facebook and he went on people's posts that one was the Friends of Family, or the Friends of Allison Hill. And I just happened to see it, and I said, what do you need? And he said, I need a building. And so I said, I have the perfect building. And Tim, who's the owner of this building, said, yes, no problem. And today we have all of you here today. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that participated in this. And the flyer, where is Cherie?
Cherie's in Florida. She came all the way from Florida.
From Florida, she did this flyer. It was beautiful. So we just wanted to say thank you and mention her for the work she did. So I'm going to pass this on to other servant leaders, because that's what we have standing here today.
Right.
We have servant leaders, the people that are in office, running for office. These people, you don't see them just when it's an election time or anything like that. They're here all the time, serving in the community. And I just want to mention that too about my colleagues. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to say that I must start this off with giving praise. Giving praise to God, but I'm going to give praise to you also. I remember this young man as a kid in the Black History Showcase. I knew he was special then, and as he began to grow, and where he is now, he has proven himself to absolutely be special. We should be proud to have a young person in the city that took it upon himself to say, there is a need here. There is a need, and I am going to fulfill that need. And I just wanted to say that because I know you hear it, and I don't know who you hear it from. But remember, I knew you when you were small. I knew you when you just said, I'm a special person. And you have grown to do that. One of the things that I'd like to say is, when someone hurts in the city of Harrisburg, everyone does. I feel the pain. I started out today saying, do I really want to get up? Do I really want to go? But when I know the energy that I feel in this room and the energy that I know across the city, I had to. So I just want to thank Jonathan for first of all, for having the idea and all those who participated in it. I am a former Harrisburg City Councilman, and I am running for District Justice for what we consider Zozo seat. And there's very little that I can say that has not already been said. So just thank all of you, and I am here if you need me.
Yay, Kelly. Hello, everyone. I'm sure most of you know me, and those who don't, that's my nephew, Jonathan. Jonathan, I just want to say to you, despise not the day of small things. Because you don't know what God planted in you. Everybody thinks things are supposed to come from us. God uses who he wants to use.
That's right.
And it comes from the least that you might expect it to come from.
Yeah.
Right?
But you've been great from the beginning, nephew. You've been destined to do this thing. And I'm so glad you listened to what God told you to do. Because we had a conversation and I told you all things work together.
Yes.
All things work
Yes.
together. But I have been personally affected by this tragedy in the city because I have a cousin that's sitting back here who's, I don't want to use the word victim because I know she's going to be victorious.
Hey!
Right? Okay.
And I have another cousin who's not here who was in the Walnut Street fire. So it's personal to me. And I appreciate that everything that everyone did in here for my family. He called, and the Shades of Greatness, the LaShawn McCoy Foundation. You know how we serve the community. It's nothing for us to do what is best for our community. He called, and we answered the call. So to all of you that has gone through something, is still going through something and trying to figure this thing out, all I can say to you is what I do. Down on my knees when trouble rises. I talk to Jesus beyond the sky. He promised me he'd hear my plea. But if I tell him, down on my knees.
Amen. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
As was mentioned, first and foremost, I don't know if any of the family of those affected are here, but first and foremost, I want to convey my condolences to you. As was mentioned from the previous speakers, anything that I can do to help, certainly willing to lend a hand. And it's worth noting that I am not a Harrisburg resident, but I live in Stilton. Our surrounding communities, we all need to be in this together. And I also think I should preface, I guess, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Flood, and I'm speaking to you. I'm wearing two hats today. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Harrisburg NAACP as its community engagement chairman. And secondly, I'm speaking on behalf of current Councilwoman Destiny Hodges, who is on her way back from New York. She may actually walk in while I'm probably speaking. I know we don't want to go too deep in the weeds about politics, but certainly elections do matter. So don't ever get that twisted. Elections do matter, as was mentioned earlier from the young lady who spoke about her experience with I think the young lady who lost her life. She spoke about that hoverboard, and those products are regulated, and our elected officials, be it state or federal, those are the folks that shape those regulations. So elections do matter. So the one thing that I would tell you all to do, Destiny Hodges, she is running for the seat currently occupied by George Zozo, 12105. Just look at her political platform whenever you get a chance. I would urge you to do that for all candidates. Look and see what they're running on, and if it's within your interests, or if their platform caters to your interests. I'll leave it as simple as that. Jonathan, we have as you guys know, Jonathan's very personable and outgoing, so it's nothing for Jonathan to take on an endeavor such as this. However, there's a number of, I'll say it's probably about 3 dozen people in here. There's 3 dozen Jonathans in this room because all of us wanted to do something. Just didn't necessarily know how to go about doing it, or what logistical things needed to be done. So everybody that's up here, if you have an idea, if you want to do something, if you feel like you can't do it yourself, or you're not confident in yourself and exacting that, reach out to one of the folks up here, or myself included. So I want to thank everyone for coming out, for supporting, and just to reemphasize anything that I can do
to you as well, Jonathan, feel free to reach out to me.
Two minutes. All I need is like 15, 20 seconds. This has been a practice of empathy. Now, you have to know what you're doing when you're doing what you're doing. And empathy is all about getting out of oneself and getting into the shoes of someone else. But after a while, and after the condolences, because this is a practice of participating and working something out for condolence, and I feel sorry, but we have to go beyond to what is practical. And what practicality is a solution for the causes, for the cause for this condolence, right? So, now, we have a project. We have projects that have about maybe 5,000 places. Some of those places aren't ready. Some of those places are missing a toilet, maybe a couple of light switches. We can get those things fixed and move those people into a project within the city of Harrisburg that is secure. And so they're at one place, we know where they're at, and then our other service agencies will know where they're at also. But get them off the street, the hats and whatever, that's good. But as the infrastructure piece, how are we going to solve it the next time it happens? Where are we going to put our residents? Where are we going to know that we have done something that works? We have to monitor. We have to make sure our residents know that we love them through practicality and practice. This is a practice on empathy. This is beautiful. But when we get out of there, our infrastructure has to be set up for us. And that's why I'm running to set up an infrastructure that brings jobs and security, safety. I love you. That's, enough is enough is enough is enough. I love y'all. I love every one of y'all, and you know I do. And I'll be out there, and the next time we'll have another solution. But we're gonna work at getting people out of wherever they are into something that's secure. And them projects is warm. Right now they're warm. Right now. Because I'll be in them. I'll be in them.
All right. Mr. Bud.
Okay, my name is Westburn Majors. I'm currently a member of Harrisburg City Council, and I am the Public Works Chair. And after that, I don't know what else there is to say. But truly, to the families that were affected, our sincere condolences to all of you. And we know that this goes past